here we go. Let's not waste any time. That's Luke. That's Danny. In case you're joining us after the initial, original MMA Beat, we're 3 deep this week. No one's probably just tuning into After the Beat. They usually do the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Unless you like to get freaky. Okay, here's the first question of the day. Why are fighters like Cynthia Calvillo getting suspensions for marijuana? It's not a PED. I know you guys are very passionate about this topic. Me, not so much, so I wanted to offer this one up to you.
Tired of talking about this one.
Okay, perfect. Let's move along.
No. You want to go first, Danny?
I think it's insane that, they're even just testing for, and even considering just a PED, like, I don't know. I think it's pretty insane.
Important to note that it was in competition, right? So out of competition,
it's fine.
You can't get. And what is in competition? That's several hours before the weigh-ins and also right after the fight.
So it's almost like a 24-hour window.
Exactly, to make it as easy as possible. So basically, if Darren Till was smoking marijuana today and he doesn't have a fight book, like they
would be fine.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make that clear for the viewers.
Yeah, but even in competition, I think it's ridiculous. Like I don't really see marijuana helping. I mean, I can see aiding as far as like relaxing someone and things like that, but not in
Look at his face.
Not in the level of a performance-enhancing drug like steroids and other things that we've seen. I think
you
it's
say
so ridiculous.
Legal, don't test for it.
Yeah.
No punishments
why are we
for
even
it.
testing for it?
Who cares? Even if it's at the highest levels. If you smoke, a minute before walking out.
Look at I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
You say the same? Don't test for it. Don't put it on the ban list.
You could test for it, I suppose, because we are trying to collect data about it. But I've made this point a million times. It is not like cocaine, and it is not like alcohol, where you can test the blood, and you can find out the pretty precise window about when they were using and probably to what degree. It's not like that at all. They're testing her metabolites, right? So literally what her body has digested and then expelled. And marijuana is a very, very tricky substance because here's what I've said this 1,000 times. Here's what they're doing. And you've noticed every so often that they raise the level. 50 nanograms per, milliliter or centiliter, whatever it is, the particular measurement. And then it goes up to 100, and then 150, and then 175. The reason why is because anybody who is involved in this testing process, they cannot challenge this. If they ask you within a reasonable degree of scientific certainty, do you know that Cynthia smoked in this in-competition window, they cannot answer yes. Mm-hmm. What they do is they simply put a number up and they say, holy shit, that number is so high that you couldn't possibly hit that unless you did in that window. But that's actually not true. The strains of marijuana have never been stronger based on how much you use, either that individual dosing or how much you use over time, based on your body composition, based on all number of factors. It is possible that you could have smoked or used outside of that window and still hit that number. What we really want to prevent is we want to prevent someone from going to the cage while they are experiencing the euphoric effects of marijuana. I think we would all agree that is not okay. But the only real way to do that is to have, I would think, some kind of field sobriety exam. Have some kind of medical professional. Yes, you can collect their metabolites if you want to see if there's any kind of a correlation after the fact. And again, they need to get the science of this better. But as it stands, that science is total bullshit. They cannot tell you that she used in that window. They can do that for cocaine, and they can do that for alcohol. Stop this reefer madness.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Sick of this.
There you have it. There's nothing more I can add to that. I don't even know.
Smoke weed every day, kids. It's good for you.
Okay, let's move along. How many 800,000 plus pay-per-view buys do you think there will be this year? So worth noting, last year, 2017, 0. The year before, there were 5 over a million.
Was it the St. Pierre one?
Nope, didn't get a million. Oh, 800. I was thinking a million. Okay, so 1. My bad.
St. Pierre.
Oh, wait, no, 2. So he said 800. So 217 and 214.
214, right.
To me, 800 is a weird number, but fair. It used to be a million that I would ask a million, but fair, 800. So last year, 2.
The standard has dropped.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
thus far this year, nothing close, right?
all right, so let's noodle this through.
Yeah.
If Brock Lesnar comes back, I would think you could do it.
Yeah.
If Brock Lesnar comes back and they sign him, first of all, he can't do anything before April because that's his contract.
Let's say it's December or something.
They gotta sign him quick because then he has to go through his whole USADA suspension.
Does he have to? He doesn't have. I mean,
What do you mean?
well,
He's still
the
in the midst of it.
The USADA suspension, which is on hold because he is retired.
Yeah.
But
so if he comes
like,
back,
I want any notion about like he has to get back in that pool and blah 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 blah. They don't have to do any of that.
you think they'll waive it?
They did at 200.
I feel Mark Hunt's head exploding. Yeah, but he was in the midst of the suspension. He was serving it, and then he
Probably unlikely that they would do it, but
Okay, fine.
anything's possible.
You say, okay, let's say we get him in before December, right?
Yeah.
Or December.
They could do something with him.
Okay. So that's one?
So that's one. CM Punk, I don't think so.
No, the first one didn't do.
If John Jones came back this year, which I find highly unlikely, but let's say he did, I think he would definitely do it.
I mean, it could be John Jones versus
Definitely
Brock
do it.
Lesnar, though.
Which would do well over $1 million.
Yeah.
Well over $1 million. So that would be huge. Let me go down the list here. Stipe Miocic in DC, I think it'll do well. I don't think it'll do that.
Yeah.
Habib Nurmagomedov versus Conor, if they do, I think would kill it.
Conor versus anyone.
Conor versus anyone.
Let's say we get one Conor fight.
Good
this
for
year.
$1 million. You're
Yeah.
good for $1 million.
Yeah.
So that would do it. And how many times is he going to fight in 2018? Maybe 2. So you can count 2 there.
You're lucky.
Who, Conor?
Conor.
If you're
I
lucky.
said
Twice in 2018?
I said maybe. Unlikely, but you never know. You never know with him. Short of that, I'm just trying to noodle it through. No one at bantamweight. No one. And if George comes back, maybe. So the answer is maybe like 5 or 6. Probably close to 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You think
agree.
UFC 223? That's a pretty good card.
I think
but
it will do well. I don't think it'll cross 800.
600 maybe?
That's a tough number.
I think 5 is possible.
4 to 5.
4 to 5, yeah.
You know, that's a tough number. 800 is tough,
Yeah.
man. You have to be a superstar
gotta be a
to get that, or have this
People
incredible.
have to know you.
Yeah. You know, the ESPN, the car wash buzz, that sort of thing that these pay-per-views don't necessarily do. I agree. I think 2 is a fair line. You know, I think they could get, if they get Conor back once, which I think they will, and if they could get some combination of Brock, GSP, John Jones returning, like one of those 3 guys. then
Diaz is
there's-
also in the mix.
Diaz, yeah. I think 2.
I think that's a good number. 1 or 2.
2 would be like last year.
About like last year. But I do have higher hopes this year for good MMA,
Yeah.
like UFC 222.
Yeah.
Did okay on pay-per-view or something, and I think that gives you that kind of hope for the future. So
Yeah.
Good for the product, good for
Absolutely.
right, good, exactly. Both are good for the product, just not for giant pay-per-view buy rates. Or
Yeah.
something.
It's just amazing. 2 years ago that they were getting over 1 million 5 times.
Yeah, I went back and looked at 2016.
Yeah.
Ronda or Conor fought every quarter.
Yeah, amazing.
Think about that.
Amazing.
That is absurd. Absurd.
We didn't know how lucky we were back
Oh,
then.
man.
Okay. Favorite current rivalry in the UFC?
Me versus Face the Pain
Yeah.
is the most important one. Was it? Go put the question back up one more time if you can, very briefly.
Favorite current rivalry in the UFC? Sometimes they can't go backwards.
I see that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But that was it. It was
So
just
it's
one
current rivalries.
Current
Yeah.
rivalry.
DC Jones. DC Jones.
Interesting. You would consider that a current rivalry, even though he's
Oh yeah.
all right.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I didn't even think of that
What
one.
was the one fighter he mentioned? John Jones did at
Yeah.
that hearing.
Yeah, it was
Daniel
great.
Cormier.
It was great.
Daniel Cormier, and I was like, he's still.
Yes.
Jones still got it. Still got
Yes.
that fire.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's one I like. I like. What's another good one that I like?
Habib Tony?
Habib Tony is just killer.
Yeah.
I like the social media back and forth between Max and Conor.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
The
good
two,
Max is good.
Looking forward to the 2 strips meal was a bit of a dun-dun
Damn.
moment. But when he,
Very
but
clever.
also to give Conor credit, when he went after Tony and said, "You're a sad bastard, mate."
That was good.
That was I honestly was like dying of because I actually saw his tweet and I didn't see what he was responding to.
Yeah.
And then I saw Tony just effing around on the speed bag, and then I was like, wow, Conor's hilarious. What's another good
Any
one?
come to mind for you?
I agree
What do you
with
think?
everything that Luke says. Those are good rivalries. I would like to add Ngannou, Derek Lewis.
Oh, yes. I want to see that one
That's
so
a fun one. I
bad.
feel like it's just at the beginning stages.
Yes.
Wait till those.
There's
two
a lot
get
of
little
animosity
closer.
there. There's a lot of shade
And they just
being
throw
thrown.
subtle
Yeah,
shade and
yes.
it's very specific.
Yes, that
things.
is a fun one.
Calling him a 50-year-old.
Yes, that is a fun one.
Like it's the Little League World Series and you're playing the Cubans or something. I'll tell you this. Oh God, I just had it in my head. Oh Christ, what was I just about to say? God damn it, you ruined it.
Can I throw one out while you're
Sure,
thinking?
please.
Rose Joanna.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites.
Dude,
Okay.
Colby Covington versus everybody.
Versus the world.
I talked about this last week. It's like the things he says are totally indefensible. Like utterly
Did he cross the line with the Mike Perry
Yeah, of course he
girlfriend?
did. But, like, the whole point is to cross the line. I made this point last week, but I have to say, when he, on the opening night of Star Wars The Last Jedi,
God.
spoiled the results, first of all, I was bitter because I was going to see it the next day, and I was like mad at it for a second. But I was like, so funny. Like the replies were like, "F you, you're dead to me. I used to be a fan." Blah blah blah. And then he pinned it. He pinned that tweet to his profile page. honestly, I don't know how you can't laugh at that. That is super funny.
The big question is, did you decide not to go?
No, I went.
Okay.
I went.
All right.
I mean, what am I going to do? You can't let a guy ruin things for you.
No,
He's
I
gotta
mean
go.
he is certainly taking that ball and running with it.
I like that one.
specific
And then shouts to Tyron Woodley, who calls him
Yes.
Queefington. That's a fun little one that they've got going.
They do have a fun one. I like the Rose Nuana.
I would like to throw. I know we're a bit saturated on it, at least personally, but I think once they, it gets the ball rolling again on that rivalry, we'll like it. Again, it's Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. I feel like people are a bit saturated over it, but as soon as you get those two guys on the mic, everybody enjoys that back and forth.
Luke Rockhold, Michael Bisping is a rivalry I didn't know was going to be what it was.
Yeah.
After Luke Rockhold beat him in Australia on that Fight Pass show, you just sort of thought, well, that's the end of that. Then, of course, Bisping goes and does what he does. And now you've got Luke Rockhold asking for a second crack at it. That one took a turn I didn't think it was going to.
So that was actually supposed to be one of our topics today, but we ran out of time. In order, did you like that fight? For both men?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't want to see. I don't want to see it.
For Bisping? For either?
The Gustafsson fight for Luke Rockhold intrigues me way more.
Okay.
And for Michael Bisping, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for from him, but seeing that a third time, I mean, look, if they make it, I wouldn't hate it.
Sure.
It's just not my preference.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, I'm like on the fence about it.
Jesus.
I think it's a good. In some ways I like it, in some ways I don't. I think it's a good fight for Luke Rockhold if he's trying to make a new run at 205. Bisping fight, having some size, because Bisping's obviously going to be bigger at 205, but really who benefits from that, it would be Luke Rockhold. He'll be even bigger. So I think, things point out that, especially considering momentum, I know both are coming out losses, but it feels like Luke Rockhold is a fresher fighter. So I feel like that'd be a good fight for him just to get his run going at 205. He can beat Michael Bisping and get on the mic and be like, all right, I'm here. And then that could be exciting. But, Bisping is a guy that's been around for forever in the UFC. And although he's kind of played a villain overall, I think we all have a place for him, And I would like to see him against, get a favorable matchup. Get a matchup that, perhaps can set him up to leave on good terms. So.
And then TJ Dillashaw versus Team Alpha Male, Dominic Cruz versus Team Alpha Male. Yeah. The Team Alpha Male versus the other top bantamweights is a fun one.
I feel like that one for me got
played out.
Yeah.
Well, it was until TJ.
Too much drama.
It got old, but then it got some great resolution at 217. I thought.
Right.
And then not like refreshed exactly, but it was clear that was one big important chapter. But I don't think it's over. I mean, everyone is like.
No, they're gonna fight again.
Everyone's writing off Cody Garbrandt. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, they're definitely gonna fight again. Okay, what else do we have? Here we go. Is the MMAJA still a thing, and what direction is it heading in? So I wanted to bring this one up because I get this question a lot. Is it still a thing? And I think people are confused. Of course, we're talking about the Mixed Martial Arts Journalists Association. It's not supposed to be a thing in the sense that it's going to be making news. Like, this is not like an entity. Like, we're not a news outlet where we're making news where you're going to be seeing updates from us. This is more of an internal thing for the media. But since you're asking for an update, in fact, within the next few hours, we will be starting the process for our first ever elections. The first ever elections, I'm sort of breaking some news here, but they will take place on April 11th. So it's very much still a thing. It's just a thing that's happening behind the scenes because it's not really for public consumption. It's not a news outlet. It's not a machine that's going to be tweeting out things and you're going to be seeing updates on it. It's very different. People were comparing it to a fighter association. Fighters Association is something that they're trying to fight for to, gain a piece of the pie and have a seat at the table. We're not doing that. We're doing that more for ourselves. So if you wanted the update, there's the update. But if you're looking for us to be a thing where you're going to be getting like constant stream of news out of, it's not going to happen. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Also, I've been too lazy to join.
Yeah, these guys. Danny, have you signed up?
I got to sign up.
I mean, it's unbelievable. These guys, my own colleagues, won't even sign up for it. No, but I will say that we have
How many members are there?
Almost 50. Oh, nice. 46 have signed up and paid their dues and signed everything. There's, I think, around 20 that have signed up but haven't paid their dues yet. So, if all goes well there and you expect those people to actually do that, that's around like 65 or so. And that's without us going out and actually like recruiting anyone. That's just people who wanted to be a part of it. So I'm very excited about it. And I think that once we have formal elections and people are in place who want to be in place and are voted on by the people, because we had an interim board, but that was just to get the whole thing, up and running. Dan Stubb president, etc.
Are you running for anything?
I think I will.
Okay.
I think I should, and I feel very passionate about it.
Commissioner?
No, there is no commissioner. There's president,
dictator for
vice
life.
President. There's secretary. There's treasurer. There's.
I got a feeling you're not running for treasurer.
No, actually, there is no one other than Mark Ramundi who should run for treasurer because he was the interim treasurer and he has the keys to all the financial stuff. So for him to pass it along at this point, it just won't happen. He has no choice, basically, is what I'm trying to tell him. He doesn't know that, but
how many big screen TVs do you think you bought with those dudes?
that's right. No, but I'm very proud of it. It's one of my most proudest achievements as far as being a journalist that we got this off the ground. And I think these guys are lazy bums for not signing up yet.
That's
my 2 cents.
You are fake news. No, that's true. I am very lazy.
I look forward to those applications coming in later today. Okay, here we go. Both Dana White and Jeff Nowitzki recently said that they believe Nick Diaz has some interest in fighting again someday. Do you believe we will see him back at some point? I kid you not. And you maybe got a sense of this last week when you were collecting questions. I get at least like 5 Nick Diaz questions a week.
On my live chat too. Everything.
Unbelievable.
It's the same one. Well, what about this week?
Yeah.
And now this week. It's like, I don't think the thing changed. Man, I said for the longest time that I didn't buy that. Now I have not. Maybe Jeff or Nowitzki, Dana White have spoken to him, and they've got a different sense of things, or his management. I don't really know. Although I'll say this: the management that I dealt with around him, he has good management that I know, and I like that guy very much. He has another one who was, the dumbest person in America, far and away. So I wouldn't trust anything that comes out of that loser's mouth. Now, that being said, you follow them on social media. This is no secret. It's quite literally public.
Here's your answer. Go look up his Snapchat.
Yeah. Snapchat?
Or Instagram too, right?
And Snapchat is where
the real party
Spends a lot of time in the club.
Yeah.
Nick Diaz.
The best is me waking up at like 6 a.m. with my kids, and I see on Instagram like 1 minute ago, it's like, he's in like a big on a Tuesday night.
It's just like the club's empty and it's him
crazy.
And other people.
It's not always empty, by the way. But
no,
anyway,
not always, but you know.
But on a Tuesday night, like, what can you really expect?
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like if you go to Nate has definitely, he's out there doing appearances and being social.
Yeah.
He goes to concerts a
Right.
lot.
Yeah.
I've learned about the life
And
of Nate
he
Diaz.
posts like he's training, like he might not be training full
No, but
time,
this
at
is
least he's
specific to Nick.
You see
Nick
him at the
Diaz.
academy filming students training all the time.
Right.
he's involved.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, is Nate going to come back? Matter of time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but yes. With Nick, I can't say no. But this feeling that it's like imminent or something, I just don't buy that. I really, really don't.
There's a lot of stock in Dana White, and I think we have to continue to remind ourselves of this. In 2018, Dana White talking about Nick Diaz maybe coming back. Dana White taking a picture of Brock Lesnar, right? That stuff is worth gold in the midst of TV negotiations to get people excited about the prospect of these guys coming back. And so when I saw him talk about Nick Diaz, I was like, oh, of course he's talking. Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this year is all about, is getting people excited about the product.
And it's not to say that it's not true, but you're right. It often feels like it's extraordinarily premature or something.
Yeah.
So I never say never, but I wouldn't. How about this? Would he fight in 2018? I would bet no.
Fighters, it's very easy to sort of dictate what's on their mind. Even look at Conor, for all the knocks on him not defending the belt, and you can talk about all of them. It's very clear he's back in the gym. It was very clear when he wasn't in the gym, right? He was on yachts, he was partying, he was this, but it's clear that he is training somewhat. How much, who knows? You never see anything from Nick, right?
Right.
You see Nate, who has publicly said he's ready to come back. And you see like Darren Till, all of a sudden he started to post pictures of himself training again. They want to publicize this when they're getting in shape and they're training. I don't see that from Nick right now. I don't see much of a fire there.
But here's the good news. We'll get that question again
We
next
will,
week.
absolutely. That's the one thing I know for sure. Okay, what else do we have? Although I know female professional MMA is still super young, as a chick myself, I can't help but want to see more weight classes of female fighters. Do you think there's a space for welter, middle, heavyweight female fighters in the future?
Not good ones.
I think there's a simple answer to this one.
I think no.
Yeah, I think no.
It's just, it's hard to find. First of all, the UFC already is running thin in certain divisions, and then just to add more, that'd be an issue. And I feel like the biggest we've seen. There's obviously the Gabby Garcias of the world, but for the most part, most of the women are probably below 145. I would say.
If anything, you can argue about adding a 105.
Right.
Atom weight.
Yeah, atom weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
that's
Invicta
legit
has in
weight.
the division. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
look, you.
Wasn't Michelle Watterson right?
He's the champion. Yeah.
Atom weight, yeah.
Like, even you could pick any sport. Maybe with the exception of like women's basketball or something, but like pick any other Olympic sport where there are heavier women. Olympic weightlifting, for example, it's thin, man. It's real thin. It's just divisions. No, could you have one-offs if you wanted to? They do in Japan.
Right.
Gabby Garcia fights, somebody's neighbor.
50-year-old.
Someone's grandmother.
And it's always like some Mortal Kombat finish. So maybe if you want to do that, but like, you know, reasonably speaking, I just don't. I mean, it's. But here's an interesting question though. You do have someone like Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
Who has told me specifically, I would like to fight at lightweight, like men's, not against men, but at 155.
It's not going to happen.
Well, that's what I told her too. But have you seen her in person, dude? She's bricked
big, yeah.
up, and there's not a lot of fat on her. So it's like, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah.
You know, you have to cater to her because she could be somebody that the public could rally behind. You know, Rousey 2.0 or something. I don't know, but that is going to be an interesting test for whoever I know she was with PFL right now, but I'm saying long term, if she does get to the UFC, that's going to be an interesting challenge for her.
I'm super interested to see what kind of field they'll get for her because she's a part of their tournament. So let's say she does fight at 145. Can they find 7 other women to fight at 145?
I mean, they can find 7 women.
But who are these women?
Right. She's probably going to rip their heads off. Let's just be real about that.
All right, what else do we have? Just a few more here before we say goodbye. Why do you think fighters are not publicly declaring if they have signed up to Project Spearhead when they have been losing out constantly to the UFC's whims? Whereas Cowboy, GSP, etc., they were happy to stand next to Rebny. Why do you think this is?
I don't know. The average one, not counting the MMA or the AAA guys, they probably fear reprisal, or they just don't want to have to answer to media for it, or there's all kinds of reasons people like to have, not secrets exactly, but privacy.
Yeah.
That to me makes sense. But I will say that in the case of Cerrone and St. Pierre and Dillashaw, and I mean, I don't know what Velasquez is up to, and Kennedy is retired at this point, it is a little unusual. That whole thing, looking back on it,
so weird.
You want to talk about one of the stranger episodes in MMA history? Wow.
So weird that day.
It was also a thing that
it's
like that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to do like, look, we got all these fighters.
Right.
They kind of wanted to flex. With the Project Spearhead, I think it's the opposite of that. They kind of want to remain low key and not come out there.
Which is the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. Actually, I should say I'm not surprised that people don't want to talk publicly about this because they're afraid. I was told that the number one question that they get when they're asking about these cards is this private? Is this anonymous? I don't think they should be, but no one's going to talk right now. No one's going to say, hey, I just signed this. I mean, I can't even think of one person who's done it, right?
Also, Ally Quinton became the treasurer,
sure,
so that's something.
Yeah, but I don't, like, again, I don't think, it's sort of like the MMAJA thing, but completely different. I don't think you're going to see anyone come out and say like, "Hey, I just signed this card," because right now, what is it? It's nothing.
Right.
Right. It's almost not even worth saying publicly. But I do.
Well, I think it would be as a recruiting tool.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean,
because if there's somebody on the fence about it,
and said it,
and also like if there's a mid-level fighter who sees another mid-level fighter who has the courage to do it, they might look at that and say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should do that too."
Sure.
But I think that's also probably done under the table, within their. Yeah. I just rather than publicly.
I'm fascinated to see if this actually gains some momentum, but I don't think it's something that's going to happen in the next month or so. Like people want to see immediate results when it comes to this stuff.
I see a conference call with Bjorn.
Yeah, that's an amazing.
What if in the end, like let's say they actually get all those cards signed and certified, and then there is a conference call. All of a sudden, it's like, all right, and joining Leslie Smith and Lucas Middlebrook, Bjorn Rebny, and his first words are Mexico.
Do you think he has anything to do with this now? Like, do you think he's completely checked out from the world?
I thought he was completely checked out after that Mexico tweet. I'm like, we're probably never going to see him again. And he came back, so who knows?
Dude, he's like Brock's diverticulitis. He has his presence, and then he's gone, and then you don't even think about him, and then he just comes back. You're like, the diverticulitis, the Rebny is back,
But at least they made those T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Do you have any swag like that? Like that's just some barren wasteland of something that used to exist in MMA that you kept around? I have one.
Okay.
Really? You ever seen those lamps that they're it's just a sheet of glass and then it lights at the top and then it lights whatever's engraved on it?
Yeah.
I have a Whamma lamp.
Oh, wow.
What was it, the World...
it was the sanctioning body.
Yeah, the sanctioning body.
and Fedor were the champions.
The one they put upside down on Fedor. I bought it on eBay.
Come on.
They sold everything that was in that office that they had abandoned, and I actually bid on it.
Wow. How much?
$2,000.
Like $6. Which, by the way, like 5 of it was shipping.
Amazing.
Yeah, I have that in my house. Pretty happy with that.
I have a UFC Tonight T-shirt. Oh wait, they're still around.
They're still around.
Oh, my bad.
I see that. Salty dog.
Okay, let's move along. What else do we have? Okay. If you could go back in time, what fight or fight card would you attend live that you weren't there for?
Ooh. Easy call. One of the big Pride shows.
Yeah.
A Shockwave show or Fedor versus Cro Cop.
Oh my
Fedor
God,
versus
can you
Cro Cop, the first one. I mean, people, if you're only watching now, you just can't appreciate this. But when that fight was on, man, there was no doubt about it. Those were the best two heavyweights in the world, and that fight was huge. I would have loved to have been in Japan for that one, man.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure, a pride show. Because when I became a fan, I never, being in Colombia and then come here, I never really got to experience and follow Pride. I would always go back and get DVDs at, stores and then pop. I mean, I knew the results, right? Because I'd look them up. But just the show and everything still was fun and crazy to watch. I can't imagine watching something like that live with all the rules set and just the lighting. It looks so prestigious, and I don't know. There's something with Pride that it looks really nice. And I don't know if we'll ever get something similar to it. To that magnitude, but I mean the shows that they put on, it was a show. Just attending. If you don't like MMA, just being there, in fact, and just looking at everything in the show and the setup, that itself.
One of the Bob
amazing.
Sapp fights. You remember that? I mean, like.
Imagine watching.
before he was like diving?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
I mean,
watching
like,
the
Big
Nogueira
Nog versus
fight.
Bob Sapp,
the Nogueira fight.
Big Nog Bob Sapp. That would have been
those were
amazing.
huge. Those were huge. Yeah, and I would have loved to go to any Pride show. Maybe not so much like the Las Vegas ones because that wasn't like real Pride.
Still
the
Diaz
awesome
versus
Takanori Gomi.
Takanori
Yes,
Gomi.
those were great. But like the Pride shows at Saitama were great. Obviously UFC 1, right? Wouldn't it be cool to go to UFC 1?
Yeah.
I would have loved to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Brock's debut, I think, would have been really cool. There was some buzz for that. I remember UFC 81 against Frank Mir. It wasn't the main event.
You weren't there?
No, I wasn't. That was before. My first UFC event that I went to, pay-per-view, was, as a journalist, was 97.
Maybe one of the Liddell Ortiz fights.
Yeah.
Was pretty big.
And an underrated
At the
one
time
for me,
felt big,
UFC 58. Remember that one? USA versus Canada.
Oh yeah, St. Pierre versus Penn.
I love that card. I was so excited for that card as a fan.
That was the fight where Lawaza
What year
got
was
ruined.
that? What year was that?
Oh my, maybe
2006.
No, a little bit before that, maybe 05.
Okay.
I remember I had friends over.
I was
for
in
that
sixth grade, I think.
one. Yeah, it's sixth
5,
grade.
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
what the?
I had just come
Fuck.
to this country.
6th grade.
I'm so fucking.
Yeah, that was
old,
BJ
man.
Penn, GSP,
I'm so old.
Franklin Loazo. What was
What's
a fun
happened
one?
to my life, dude?
Okay, why does Luke Thomas love Justin Timberlake so much?
What a clown he is.
Why? Why are you so against him?
I wouldn't be.
Okay.
I wouldn't be were it not for the false praise that you lemmings heap upon him with hosannas in the highest that I just don't understand. He is quite clearly a zilch, right? He is a stage performer, and that's not nothing.
Does he have any kind of talent?
Yes,
Okay.
he's an absurdly good stage performer. I mean, how could you deny him otherwise, right? He has command of an audience. He can sing well. He can dance well. He can do all these things, and that's hard to do. I acknowledge it. But when you want to tell me he's some kind of creative visionary, and he's got more producers and songwriters on the album credits than there exist, Marines in the U.S. military. How am I supposed to take this seriously? You ever look at Beck's last album? You should just go through the credits. Guitars by Beck, drums by Beck, written by Beck, produced by Beck. And you can say whatever you want about the stupid-ass bands that I listen to, and they are indeed terrible. They are absolutely trifling dirtbag losers, but they write their own things. And I understand that there is a little bit of creative art expression that is involved in stagecraft and in production like that. But when people talk about, he's like I don't know, like John Lennon or something.
Does he write any of his songs?
He contributes to, I'm sure, all of them.
Right.
It's not like he's completely divorced from the. Look, if people just treated him like they did, I don't know, Kesha or
Bruno Mars?
something
I feel
like
Bruno
that.
Mars is more talented.
Yeah, Bruno Mars might be more talented. But if they treated him as just what he is, I'd be fine. Same thing with Beyonce. You go through her thing, I'm like, oh, Beyonce, slay, queen. How about write some shit, queen? That's what kills me. It's like, is she a talented stage performer? Yeah, of course she is. Is she a phenomenal singer? Who could say otherwise? She can, let me hear her artwork. Let me hear that without the insane amount of help she gets, which, by the way, same thing with Timberlake. These are artists who are used by their record labels as cash machines. And please stop fronting like it is anything else. So when I hear their artwork, absent all of that, well, then we can evaluate it. But up until such time,
Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake.
again, a brilliant stage performer from a very young age.
MJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't have a strong sense about his writing craft.
Right.
I don't have a strong opinion about it. But if someone wanted to tell me he was as good as Stevie Wonder, I tell you to go pound sand, because he's not. He's not Stevie Wonder. Songs in the Key of Life. You mean to tell me Justin Timberlake is Songs in the Key of Life? Justin Timberlake is not even a pimple on the ass of blind ass Stevie Wonder.
Okay, here's the definitive question.
Yeah.
In sync, Justin Timberlake or sync?
It's the same guy. He's the same fraud he's always been. This whole thing, we're like, I'm a boy band. Oh wait,
upset Danny is right now.
I'm a boy band. Oh wait, no a second. Now I'm the white guy who loves hip hop. Here are all my hip hop friends. Look at me, everybody. Now what Red State America is surging forward. Everybody, I'm a man of the woods. I've always been. Get the fuck out of here. This guy, I'll never forget this. People don't know this. This loser dirtbag who can't adhere to anything in his life. When the Tennessee Titans played in the Super Bowl, he was the guy who was like, I'm a big Tennessee Titans fan. And then he was asked at the last Super Bowl, and he goes, go pack, go. No, go pack your shit and go, please.
That was well done. That was well done. Danny, anything you want to add there?
Come on,
no,
y'all.
I think that'll
Listen to real artists. Please listen to real artists. That's all I ask of you. Put down the Justin Timberlake album and pick up some Stevie Wonder. That's
lovemaking music. Real lovemaking music.
Written by a guy who is, and here's the word for it, actually talented. There you go.
I think we have one more left, right? Is that right? Yeah, here we go. This is from our own Jeff Wagenheim, who is somewhere shoveling snow right now. If each panelist were offered an endorsement deal and a national ad campaign, what fast food would you want to sing the praises of in your commercial? So, of course, we had some big news earlier this week.
So in other words, Conor did the chicken sandwich?
Well, he did, yes. Well, I think he's, which restaurant? Yeah, which chain? So Conor, Burger King, spicy chicken. Is there any chain or item?
Oh, easy call.
Okay.
Easy call.
Yeah?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Ready for this hot take? Taco Bell greater than Chipotle. There you go. Yes, I stand by this.
He's a big Chipotle guy right here.
No, don't misunderstand me. Chipotle is wonderful.
Is it?
I might eat a Chipotle after the show. It's great. It does not offer. First of all, what do you want?
Didn't they do a test or something, and it came down to like dog food was healthier than
Wow.
Taco Bell?
Would you? I'd rather have dog food than healthy servings of the rhino virus. That Chipotle's had some issues. When was the last time? When was the last?
Did you get sick?
Did I get sick? I mean, my colon is not really an example of health, but I would just merely point out to you how many headlines have you ever heard? Couple gets sick by eating volcano tacos at Taco Bell. You've never read that. You've never read that in your life. They can't have enough headlines. Another couple stopped by in Indianapolis, Indiana, and went to a Chipotle. They each had double chicken, and now they've died of Ebola. You've seen that over and over and over again.
I don't know, I'd still take Chipotle over Taco Bell.
Wait, so your pick is Chipotle, his pick is Taco Bell?
Here's the deal.
Dude, Chipotle is the best for gains. If you're trying to put on something.
That's true. That's true. Here's the thing.
Go to Chipotle, get a bowl of double chicken.
is the best Chipotle is better than Taco Bell's best. I will agree to that. Clearly, that's true. However, on balance, between not getting HIV and on top of that, the variety of foods you have, even if it's grade D but edible, overall, the suite of offerings from Taco Bell's higher. Taco Bell, count me in.
Wow. Is there any, like the Doritos one, like any one of those?
I actually haven't eaten Taco Bell in years.
Okay, but you're still wow.
But when I was in college, I loved it.
Okay.
Because it was, you eat for like $5.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I didn't get, whatever kind of, some disease from.
I've been eating Chipotle for a few years now, and
keep going. Fine. You're on your way.
So your pick is Chipotle?
I didn't think about it, but now they mention it. Yeah, sure. I like Chipotle.
Really?
But I don't know. McDonald's is probably the biggest out there.
You and Kobe?
Sure.
Wait, you actively eat McDonald's?
No.
No, here's the
but I'm just saying, they probably got the most money.
Watch this. Hold on. This is not the right question for him.
Okay.
Because you don't understand this, and this is true.
Wait, do I have to be a believer of the
No.
product?
Hold on. Here's the best.
Okay.
Trust me. Just hear me out on this because I know we have to go.
Let me just keep interrupting him.
I know I'm interrupting. I'm sorry. But this is the question for you.
Okay.
Watch this change, and I know exactly what he's going to say. If they did fast food chains in Colombia, let me tell you something about fast food in Colombia. Phenomenal.
Really?
Fast food in Colombia is fire.
I didn't believe this either. My wife told me this, and I was like, you're lying. Hamburgers in Colombia, better than hamburgers in
El
America.
Corral all day.
That was the one. There is a burger chain. You can get a couple in Miami, right? There's a couple in Miami?
I know they have a Cocorico, which is like a...
No, but like an El Corral. No?
Corral, I don't know if they have in Miami.
Dude, there is this burger chain in Colombia called El Corral, right? You cannot imagine how good these burgers are.
Okay, I have a story for that.
Okay.
Just quickly. I had a friend in 7th grade. He was Colombian. He wanted a burger so bad that his mom went to Colombia because, for visit. She bought a burger from El Corral at the airport and took it on the plane.
Oh, man.
3 hours later, or 4,
Yeah?
gave it to him.
Did he
in the
get
States.
sick?
No.
Dude, you cannot
I couldn't believe it, though. I was like, ew, that's not
they'll
gross.
get it with chimichurri and then a sausage. You can get it
it's
with
real
egg and everything
burgers.
else. Yeah, it takes like you can't just they don't just wrap it up and give it to you. Like
Right.
you have to sit and bring it to you like 10 minutes later, like a Five Guys or
Yeah.
something. It is people are like Five Guys is better. No, what's the one on the West Coast?
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. In-N-Out
I've
and
never
Five
tried
Guys
In-N-Out.
together aren't as good as El Corral.
Wow.
It is.
Only in Colombia?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And you can drink beer there. I mean, come on. It doesn't get better than that.
I love that this was the most passion that we got out of both
Dude,
of you.
once you try El Corral,
You should just go to Colombia just to try El Corral.
Okay, so your pick is El Corral.
Yeah.
and they have an upscale one called El Corral Gourmet.
Wow. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Feel fancy? It's a little
It's
more
a
expensive.
it's a little higher end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to dress up?
No, but like it's a sit down
sit
restaurant
down and
and
then-
it's a thing.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Well, there you have it. You've learned a lot about fast food in Colombia. Okay, we are out of time. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in questions. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We appreciate it very much. Back next week, same time and place, so remember that. We'll say goodbye for now, though, for the rest of the crew, for Luke, for Danny, I'm Ariel. Enjoy your weekend of Sans Fights, right? Enjoy it. We'll be back next week to talk about God knows what in the world of MMA, but I'm sure there'll be something. Thanks so much. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week.